Here we are in section 2.2 with exercises numbers 13 through 18, and we are asked to solve the inequalities, graph the solution. So that's going to be one of the answers. I've made these little makeshift graphs down here to help us with that. Write the answer in set and interval notation as well. So we will have three versions: graphing it, set, and interval notation. So set is the one with these cute little braces, and interval notation will either have parentheses or brackets, something like that, open and closed. Alrighty, let's do this. Number 13, I'll put it right down here. 4t plus 5 is greater than 12. We will solve these just like equations. So we're going to use the same three steps. Just watch out when you ever multiply or divide by a negative right here. When it's by a negative, that means switch. By a negative, switch direction. That's the one thing that we have to worry about. So subtract 5 from both sides and we get 4t is greater than 7. Divide by 4 and we get t is bigger than 7/4. Let me write that down. Good. So if here's 0 and there is 7/4, it would be greater than 7/4. So it would head right up there like that and be open. So you used to have an open circle. We're going to write it with this right here. If you put an open circle, that wouldn't be bad. And you can see here's our answer in set notation. Let's write it with the set of all t's such that t is bigger than 7/4. Good, there's set notation, there's the graph. Interval notation is the graph just lifted off and written out straight like this, and it goes up to infinity. So here is set, this is interval, and here's the graph. So all three of them to get the answer correct. All right, number 14. Subtract 7 from both sides, and that gives us 4m less than or equal to negative 25. Then divide by 4. Divide by 4. We are not dividing by a negative, so we are safe here, saying m is less than or equal to negative 25/4. If we just put an m and a set thing there and a set thing there, we now have the set. All right, there's 0, and negative 25/4 is way down there. And it says we are smaller than or equal to, so we are on this side right here, going on forever, and equal to it. There we go. Good. So this would be like a solid dot. So there's the graph, and then the interval notation, it goes from negative infinity. Notice we don't ever hit negative infinity up to negative 25/4, and that is closed, meaning yes, we hit that number. It is actually part of the solution. Alrighty, number 15. We've got parentheses here, so let's jump that in. We get 3x plus 6 minus 5x greater than or equal to 7x minus 14. 3x minus 5x is a negative 2x plus 6 greater than or equal to 7x minus 14. We got to get the x's together. Let's add 2x over here. So add 2x, and we now have 9x minus 14 less than or equal to 6. Add 14 to both sides, we get 9x is less than or equal to 20, and divide both sides by 9. We get x and 29ths. Now, notice what this is when we put this on the graph. There's 0, here's 29ths, which is like 2 point something. X is on the small side of it. That's going down here. We didn't divide by a negative, but we can write this. The exact same statement is often written like this. So if we do this with the cute braces, that is set notation. Here is the graph headed down that way. And then interval notation would be, do we hit 29ths? Yes, we're equal to 29ths. So there's a solid dot there, or that bracket shows that. So negative infinity up to 29ths. We never hit that. We do hit that one, and that is interval notation. Excellent. Let's clear this off and do 16, 17, 18. All right, number 16. Negative 5p plus 3 is less than 28. Subtract 3, subtract 3. We get negative 5p is less than 25. Now we divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5, and note what we just did. We divided by a negative. That means this guy must turn the other way. So we get p greater than 25 divided by negative 5 is a negative 5. So if here's 0 and there's negative 5, we are greater than negative 5. We're bigger than here. Okay, so that's our answer, and we do not hit negative 5. So it would be an open circle, or we do a parentheses like that, parenthesis. So interval notation, set notation, make it look pretty. And interval notation would look like negative 5 goes all the way up to infinity, the interval there, and we don't hit negative 5 and we don't hit infinity. Right on. Number 17. We start off, we have fractions and parentheses. Let's get those parentheses out of the way. 3/5 n minus 12/5 minus 2 greater than or equal to 3/2 n. Do we have fractions? Yeah, let's clear out these fractions. Multiply through by common denominator of 5 and 2 is a 10. So let's times through by 10 everywhere. Now remember, you have to hit everything. 10 times 3/5, that will cancel, is 2 times 3 is 6n, minus 10 over 5 is 2. That's minus 24. And minus 20. Greater than or equal to 10 divided by 2 is a 5, times 3 is 15n. Okay, so that's 6n minus 44 equals, not equals, greater than or equal to 15n. We've got to get the n's together on the same side, so let's subtract 6n, and we get 44 is greater than or equal to 9n. So divide by 9, and we get n is less than or equal to 44 ninths. So that's almost 5. So if here's 0 and there's 44 ninths, it says n is on the smaller side of it, which is down over here. So interval, are we equal to it? Oh yes, we are. Put the dot or a bracket actually, so it's from negative infinity up to 44 ninths, and that's a bracket, but we never hit infinity. And we can, not with an x, with an n such that, and there we have it. There's set, interval, and graph. And the final one, number 18. 7m less than or equal to negative 21. We divide by 7. We divide by a 7. And we get m is less than negative 3. If you were tempted that that negative might have switched direction, that is not the case. We did not multiply or divide by a negative. So the m is there. And ta-da. That's set. The interval, let me see, 0. Where's negative 3 is right there. And m is smaller than the negative 3. So all of our answers have to be smaller than negative 3. And we do not hit negative 3. So that's an open circle or a parentheses, which would give us an interval notation from negative infinity to negative 3 with parentheses. Set, interval, and graph notation. Excellent.